Okay, here's the Unit 6 test review, and then on that same Google Classroom post, there's a Unit 6 test with it. Okay, these are the problems that you run the test. It's like a take-home test. It should be pretty easy. Okay, Unit 6 test review. Okay, number 1. Refer to a number line, give the direction positive or negative and the number of units counted going from the first to second number. So -2 to +5. Okay, so I'm going to use my number line because it's just integers. So I start at -2. I got to get to +5. So I'm going the positive way, so the answer is positive, and I got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 places. +7. Pretty easy there. Number 2, +1.8 to -2.2. The number line's not going to do me any good with decimals. Okay, I know I'm going the negative way because positive to negative is this way. So I align the absolute values. That means take the negatives. Any negatives go away for now. Then I line up the higher over the smaller. And do I have to go through 0? If I do, I add. If I don't have to go through 0, I subtract. Well, when I go from a positive to a negative, I have to pass a 0, so I'm going to add. If I don't pass a 0, I subtract, and it's 4. So the answer is -4. Okay. Number 3. List them from smallest to largest, basically. We got 21.3, 0, 20.6. -4.6, -7, -23.4. This is going to be an easy one. The most extreme negative is your smallest, so -23.4. Next most extreme is -7, then -4.6. Then if you have 0, you're going to put 0, and then 20.6, 21.3. Okay, that's it. Okay, number 4 is a little, got to do a few more things. You got 0, -1.5, -6 and 5 over 32, -6 and 1/4, -1 and 15 32nds, -1 and 7/16. Okay, so I don't have any, I know 0 is my greatest, so I can put that there. Now, for your most extreme negatives, it's either this or this. Well, I'm going to divide. This is -6.25. And the 5 over 32 would be -6.16, just round to the nearest 100. So that's more extreme than this, so that comes first. -6 and 1/4. Then -6 and 5 over 32. Then all the ones, well, that's -1.50. I put a 0 there because I like 2 decimal places. 15 divided by 32 is -1.47. And 7 over 16, -1.44. So out of these negatives, that's the next most extreme. So -1 1/2. -1 and 15 over 32, and then -1 and 7 over 16. Okay, there we have it. Okay, number 4, number 5 and 6 should be easy. You can use a calculator if you want. -5 plus -7, that's -12. Okay, number 6, it's like going on a number line. If you're at -5 and you go 7 places this way, you're going to be at -12. So -2 minus -8. If you're minusing a negative, it's like adding the positive. So if I'm at -2 and go 8 places this way, I'm going to be at 6, +6. Okay, number 7, we got -2 and 1/2 minus -4 and 1/2 plus. Okay, so if you don't have a calculator that can do these fractions for you, you go to mixed number calculator. And the first one's good. and you're going to take -2. The answer's 2, by the way. But for those of you who have if you have not the greatest with fractions, punch it in, you're going to get 2. Okay, makes sense. Okay, number 8. -4.31 minus 3.23. Okay, that's just going to be -7.54. Okay. Okay, now multiplying and dividing. -4 times -9. So a negative times a negative is a positive. 4 times 9 is 36. Positive 36. Number 10. We have -1/3 times -6 times 5. So a negative times, we know it's positive, okay? Now on the fraction calculator, if you need to use it, okay, first you're going to go -1 divided by 3. And you want to multiply that by -6, okay? Okay, so that's 2, so this makes 2, and then 2 times 5 is 10, so positive 10, okay? Number 11. We have -1/8 times 1/8 times -1/8. So those are two, that makes a positive, so 1 times 1 times 1 is 1, and then 8 times 8 times 8 is 512. That's all you have to do with multiplying fractions. And then leave it like that. Okay, number 12, you have -5 1/6 divided by 2 4/5. Okay, so this time I'm dividing. And I want to divide, I know the answer is a negative because it's a negative divided by positive, so -5 space 1 divided by 6, and then 2 space 4 divided by 5. You got to get the space after the whole number. Okay, -1 and 7 d1/84. Now, to get that answer without that calculator, first you'd have to make these into mixed numbers, both of them. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 1 is 31. That'd be 10 plus 4, 14. Then you need to make that multiplication and flip the second fraction, the fraction after it. Then I take 31 times 5, 155. And then 6 times 14 is 84. And that goes in there one time. There's 71 left over. That you would probably definitely want to use your calculator though. So -1 and 71/84. Okay, now powers and roots. Number 13. We have -6 to the 4th power. That means -6 times -6 times -6 times -6. It's going to be a positive because we have an even number of negatives. 6 times 6 times 6 times 6 is 1,296. Okay. Number 14, 4 to the -2nd power. Now I don't like negative powers. To make them positive, I put a 1 over, and then I can make the power positive. And 4 times 4 is 16, so it's 1/16. It's not 1/8. You take 4 times 4. Okay, 15. -8 to the -3rd power. Now put the 1 over it, but you don't make the 8 positive, only the exponent. So 1 over, then I take -8 times -8 times -8. And that's going to be a negative because there's an odd amount of negative factors, and it's 512. Okay, number 16. Now you have radicals, okay? You're trying to figure out what times what times what times what is 16. There's 4 of them because we have a 4th root. Well, it's not 1. How about 2? 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So that's the answer, 2. Okay, number 17. The cubed root of negative 343. So what times what times what is negative 343? Well, it's not 1. 2's not it. Nope. And also, having a negative here means your answer will be negative. Okay. Nope. 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 Getting closer though. Cha-ching. Okay, so it's negative 7 is the answer. Okay, number 18. We have a cubed root, and then under it's a fraction. It's really not that big of a deal. Okay. Figuring out what times what is negative 64. Well, at the same time, we're trying to figure out what times what is 216. Well, 1 when 2's not it. Neither's 3. How about 4? And we know the top's a negative because the top's negative here. There it is. Okay, so negative 4. 216, I'd just keep going. Is it 5? Nope. Yeah, it is 6. So negative 4, negative 4, negative 4. That's why I put negative 4 on top, and then 6, 6, 6. And that's going to be 6. Now, I'll accept that. You could also reduce it to negative 2/3. I don't care. Okay. Okay, now we get into the story problems. They're really not hard. Okay, you just got to listen to what you're being asked. Okay, the daily closing price net changes of a certain stock for 1 week are shown. What's the average daily net change in price? Now look at that word average. That means you have to divide by how many there are. There are 5 days, so you divide by 5, and then you just add the amounts on top. So negative 1 3/8 plus 4 3/4 means they gain money, plus negative 2/3 or minus, okay, doesn't matter, plus negative 1 1/2 plus 4/5. Okay. If you got one of these calculators, you can just add that all at once with the negatives. If you don't, you're gonna have to, and you need to do this. Okay, you're adding. You can't add them all at the same time. So I go negative 1 space 3 divided by 8, and the first thing I'm gonna add is 4 space 3 divided by 4. Okay, so that's 3 3/8. So what I do at the 3 3/8 is go up here, 3 space 3 divided by 8, and I add the next number, negative 2/3. Negative 2 divided by 3. Okay, now I'm at 2 17 over 17 24ths, 2 space 17 divided by 24. And then I add negative 1 1/2, negative 1 space 1 divided by 2. Okay, I got 1 5/24, and finally I take the 1 5/24, put that in this slot, and I'm going to add 4/5. 2 1/20, okay? Add this on the calculator, see if that's what I get. So negative 1 ABC3 ABC8 plus 4 ABC3 ABC4 plus negative 2 ABC3 plus negative 1 ABC1 ABC2 plus 4 ABC5. Yep, 2 1/20. Now we have to divide 2 1/20 by 5. Okay, so I take 2. Now I want to divide this time. 2 space 1 divided by 20, and I want to divide that by 5. Okay, 41 over 100. So that is the answer, 41 hundredths, or 0.41, same thing. Okay, number 20. That goes quick if you got a calculator where you can do it all at the same time, obviously. Okay, number 20. These are an hourly temperature report in degrees Celsius is given. So you got noon, 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m. It goes all the way to 11 p.m. What's the temperature change of each time period listed? So A, you got 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Okay. Now, you don't care about the ones in between. You just care about the 2 and the 6. So 1.2 to 3.5. It's like those number line problems at the beginning with 1 and 2. So I got 1.2, 3.5. Neither one of them are negative, okay? And you'd be going in the positive direction. We would not have to go through 0 because you're going from 1.2 to 3.5, okay? So you would minus this time, and it's 2.3. So positive 2.3, okay? B, noon to 7 p.m. So I look up at the temperature at noon, and it is negative 2.6. 7 p.m. is 1.2. Okay. So we got 2.6, 1.2. Now we're going the positive direction again. This time I would have to go through the 0 to get from negative 2.6 to 1.2. So if you go through the 0, you add. Okay, so 3.8. So positive 3.8. Okay. Remember, not going through the 0, you minus the absolute values going through the 0. And when I say absolute value, I mean just ignore the negative. Put the direction it goes on. Okay, and then number 21. Again, when you're finding the change, you don't care about what happened in between, just the 2. Okay, number 21. During a 7-year period, a company experiences profits some years and losses other years. Company annual profits are positive, the losses are negative, and there's your chart. What's the annual average profit from 1994 to 2000? Now there's that word average, so you have to divide by how many years. From there, 1994, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So all 7 numbers. Then you just add them together to find the top. So negative 90,000 plus 40,000 plus negative 60,000 plus negative 80,000 plus 120,000 plus 90,000 plus negative 140,000. Okay, negative 120,000, then you divide that by 7. Just round it, negative $17,143. So they lost that much on average per year. Okay, B, 1996 to 1999. Now how many, you count the 96 and the 99, so 96 is 1, 2, 3, 4. This time I divide by 4, and I just add those 4 numbers. Negative 60,000 plus negative 80,000 plus 120,000 plus 90,000. 70,000, then divide 70,000 by 4. 17,500. So just in that one, they earned a positive average. Okay, that's the end of the story problems. Now you're dealing with scientific notation. So it says you got to write it in scientific notation. Write in scientific notation. Okay, we have 5,400,000. Decimals at the end. Now, with scientific, you need with just 1 digit in front. It can't be 2 or 3. That's engineering notation. This is scientific, so only 1. Okay? And it can't be a 0. Start moving it. That's 2, that's 1. So 5.4 times base 10 to the 6th power, and we moved it left, so it's positive. Left is positive, right is negative. Okay, 23. 0.000043. 1 digit, but it can't be a 0, so move it right there. So 4.3 times 10. Moved it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Moved it 6 places. It would be negative 6 because I moved it to the right. Okay. Number 24 and 25 are easy. Just use your calculator. 2.23 times 10 to the 5th power. Okay, now if you don't have a scientific calculator, you're going to have to use the one on your phone, okay? You just Google calculator, and you go 2.23 times base 10. This is your exponent, this little xy here, to the 5th power. Okay, 223,000. Okay, then I would do the same thing on the next one, 4.32 times 10 to the negative 8. Okay, shoot, that did not work. We're going to go this way, times 10. Right there. 0.000000432. If your calculator does this, you're going to have to trace it backwards 7 places and fill in the loops with the zeros. Okay. Okay, number 26. Okay, solve the following expressions and given and we want the answer given in scientific notation. Okay. So we have 9.34 times 10 to the negative 3rd times 9.72 or 4.31 times 10 to the 12th. Break it up. First you take the 9.34 times the 4.31, and then you got to take the 10 to the negative 3rd times the 10 to the 12th. Okay? So first, 9.34 times 4.31, that's going to be 40.2, just put 40.26. Times 10, and then you add the powers when you're multiplying. Negative 3 plus 12 is 9, but you have 2 digits in front, and this needs to be scientific. So you move it, and you moved it left, so you add 1. Okay, so 4.026 times 10 to the 10th power. Okay, number 27, I'm going to do this on a separate piece of paper. Okay, here's number 27. We've got 5.48 times 10 to the power of negative 3. Got a fraction. On top, we also have 9.72 times 10 to the negative 5th. Okay. Now, bottom, we have 6.35 times 10 to the 6th. And then 3.03 times 10 to the negative 4th. Now break this up, okay? So 5.48 times 9.72, and then on bottom 6.35 times 3.03. Meanwhile, at the same time, we have 10 to the negative 3rd times 10 to the negative 5th, and on bottom we have 10 to the 6th times 10 to the negative 4th. So here you're just multiplying and then dividing. So I'm going to go 5.48 times 9.72, close it. You can do this on your phone too. Divide by parentheses 6.35 times 3.03. So 2.77. So the decimal looks in a good place. Now here we add the tops, 10 to the negative 8th. We add the bottoms, so it's going to be 10 to the 2nd. Then we cross 10 to the negative 8 divided by 10 to the 2nd means I cross that out and I minus the 2. Negative 8 minus 2 is negative 10, so 10 to the negative 10th power. The answer is 2.77 times 10 to the negative 10th power. Okay. Now, engineering notation. The last 2 problems. Remember, engineering, there can be 1, 2, or 3 numbers before the decimal. One of those, and you move them in multiples of 3. So we got 2,500,000. And you got to write that in engineering notation. So decimals here, You have 4 digits in front. You got to be 1, 2, or 3, so move it again. Now you have 1, which is good. So 2.5 times 10 to the 6th power, and you moved it to the left, so it's positive. Okay. Number 29, 0 point, and then you have 7 zeros. 2, 3. No, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 431. Okay, now you move it. 3, go again. 6, go again. 7, stop, because you have your 1 digit. Can be 1, 2, or 3. So 4.31 times 10. Actually, I'm sorry, I put too many zeros. There's supposed to be 7. 0.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 431. So do it again. And again, because now you got 2. You can have 1, 2, or 3. So 43.1 times 10. Moved it 9 places. You moved it to the right, so the power's negative. Okay. Okay, sorry about the lighting here. I know it's crappy, but I can't